Hi everyone, this is Boardgames Bourbon. I'm Glenn Flaherty, and right now I want to talk to you about a brand new expansion for one of my favorite games called the Pharaoh's Pyramid, and it is an expansion for the game Sailing Towards Osiris. Now, when you get this box, what you're going to be getting is an auxiliary board that attaches to the game. It's going to introduce a new currency called a Bourbon. That's kind of like a wile that you use on planning cartouches. Some markets where you're trying to build things. A new kind of worker that you can employ. And literally a 3D temple that you are trying to add blocks to that has a wild point swing in the game based on whether it's finished or if it is incomplete. So if you remember how to play Sailing Towards Osiris, you know that as you're moving along, the board gets tighter and tighter through the season. And especially in season 4, you're really fighting for space and resources, and you're trying to eke out every single point you can. Well, what this does is, although it gives you more choices, it does two things that actually complicate the game and give you wonderfully agonizing choices. One, when you go here and you're trying to build these blocks, one of the resources you're going to get are these Bourbons, like I spoke about before. Well, okay, what does the Bourbon do? Well, the Bourbon you can put towards any one of these cartouches to build blocks for this. You can use them even over here on this planning cartouche, which again will give you 1 point and 1 Bourbon in the future. It also lets you add a block to this pyramid. When you add blocks to this pyramid, you are reaching towards a goal. If you use all of your blocks in the game, you're going to get a bonus 2 points. If this is not constructed, whatever blocks you did not contribute to the pyramid, and again, this has to be a 3D pyramid. It starts with 4 on the bottom, then 3, then 2, then 1 at this player count. There's a smaller one on the other side that's 3 by 3. But if you do not complete the pyramid, every block you did not contribute is a negative score. And that's really important because in the game, the scores are pretty tight almost all the time. So if you imagine if you had a strategy in the game where you just stayed on the main game and ignored this, okay, there's potentially that you're adding 8 blocks to this pyramid. If you completed it, you would have 8 blocks. But if it was not completed and you did not contribute any blocks, that's a negative 8. That's a swing of 16 points, basically 1/3 of this board, and that's huge. All right, you can go over here. You can trade in your normal resources to get more Bourbons. Again, those are going to be wilds for the planning cartouches. And then you can go over here and you can put in 2 resources to get a guard. And the guards are kind of interesting and they're quite thematic. You know, in the game, when you visit a city, normally what you would do is you get 2 city cards. You keep one, you give 1 card to someone else. And if someone had a monument there, they're the person who gets in it. And if some worker's already there, you can't visit. Well, what the guard does, a guard, because of its stature in society, can actually go to any city regardless if somebody is there. And then they draw 1 card for themselves. And the game actually comes with a bunch of new ones that I will let you discover, but they're pretty cool. And kind of like always, what these cards do is they give you either 2 resources you can trade the card in for, or it has a power on the bottom. So in this example, the astrologer, it says you can get wheat and a stone, or the power of draw 3 cards, keep 1 and give 1 to another person and return 1 to the deck. That's pretty cool. This lets you move things. This one over here will either give you wheat and a stone, or it says build your planned pyramid block, then take an extra Bourbon and extra wild. So the cards actually incorporate the new theme of the game. You're also going to get this over here, which is a boon card. And boon cards, if you remember, are powers that you pick in the beginning, especially if you use some of the other expansions. You get a fistful of cards, you choose which ones you want to employ throughout the game, and you basically play them down as a turn, and you take advantage of it. In this case, what the card says is take 1 labor in the current season's riverbed. And remember, we have 4 seasons. Take 1 labor in the current season's river segment and place it behind your screen. So essentially, you got a worker from the game without having to pay any resources anywhere on the board. Well, you might think that having these extra choices actually liberates you a bit. But what I'm finding is that the extra choices actually make what you're going to do harder to decide. Everything becomes more important, and you really have to get a good feel for who you're playing against. When you devote your energy here, you're making it easier for someone to go here. If you're concentrating here, you are possibly losing 2 points because, you know, building this pyramid only has finite amount of space. It has 4 blocks on the bottom, then a level of 3, then a level of 2, and then a level of 1. Everyone will not be able to contribute there. Okay, you could even sabotage someone. And if it's your last turn and you have the chance to finish that pyramid, you might say no because you knew that the other people you're playing with will get lower scores, more negatives than you. So I found it quite a refreshing addition to the game. So if you have any questions about how it plays out, please ask me. Again, that is called the Pharaoh's Pyramid for Sailing Towards Osiris. It's pretty darn cool. It integrates very well. And yeah, let me know. Thanks, everyone. I will talk to you soon. Have a great time. Bye.